Alright guys, welcome back to another episode on Proven Power Cycles. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Eric. We got Daryl behind me and we got Lewis in the other room. And this week we have a couple of really cool things going on. Things we're really excited about, honestly. And we'll start, we got an R1M in for, we're doing a full video on this one guys, but it's going to have, we're doing a full carbon fiber paneling on it. So even the undertail, go check it out real quick. So all the plastic pieces, like this one, we got the big plastic piece here, like so, blah. So all these plastic pieces that are on here, all of them are gonna get swapped out, and he's gonna go with a carbon fiber look. Now, also notice he's got a bunch of water spots here. He's got some issues. The chain and sprocket's a little dirty also. And the wheel. So we're gonna clean up this bike for the owner. We're gonna clean it up for him because he seems like he's going after a bunch of aesthetics on this. He's got the full carbon fiber bodywork, like we said. So even stuff like this, all that gunk, I mean, man, that's actually really dirty. Yeah, I don't know where this guy drives it, but we're gonna clean all this up for him, and we're gonna make it look really nice. So right now we're flashing and tuning the ECU. So we're going through that process now, but you know, they're good. They're cool bikes, I'm not gonna lie. Definitely badass looking bikes. So that's a pretty neat little thing going on this week. We have a little bit more updates on the turbo land speed bike. There's some decisions we need to make on this bike before really going forward with it, as far as some of the things that we have set up currently and the route we want to go. But we are in the middle of all of that. We'll talk about that later, but we are in the middle of all of that. The XSR, she got a new heart. So the boys just got done swapping out the covers, making it basically look good. It needed a very slight valve adjustment. They were literally just on the tight side by 1 thou. So we did the valve adjustment. We have a manual cam chain tensioner coming for this thing. New plugs are on the way, new gaskets, basically everything to freshen up the motor. This was an unknown mileage motor from the who we were buying it from, but as we were talking to them, it was a wrecked bike and they had smashed the whole front end in an accident. And needless to say, we were inquiring about the mileage, and they were like, honestly, we don't know. The front end was destroyed. But as we were going through the motor and we're looking at everything, we're like, damn, everything looks pretty new. So it looks like a very low mileage motor. So we're excited to see it. We're excited to fire it up and go through it. We always compression test them. We did the valve adjustment, like I said. Quite honestly, I mean, they were damn near on the money. They were 1 thou off, so very close. It could even be like the tool that we're using for a 1 thou difference. But anyway, still, we moved those into the into the appropriate areas. We did a compression test. Compression test came back solid across all three. So everything looked good on the motor. So we went ahead and decided to install it. We always put new gaskets, new plugs, new fresh fluids. We always do this with every engine swap. So we know that you're basically starting from like scratch. You know, you're starting fresh. So excited about that. We got a couple of quotes on the machine shop, and man, it was the amount of money that it started to add up to be between the casing and cleaning it and et cetera. It was like, look, dude, this just makes more sense to do this, you know. And it comes with a small warranty. It does come with a 30-day warranty, but honestly, if something's gonna fail, it's usually gonna fail in those first few days anyway. You'll see some kind of failure typically. So we always try to get it on the bike as soon as we get it here, so that way you can maximize that 30-day warranty. And again, you know, enjoy the bike too. Get it back as quickly as possible. So, ooh, his chain and sprocket. He needs. This looks like surface rust, but it's definitely kind of seeping through here. Yeah, she's getting rusty. He needs to take care of this chain. So this is another biggie that I'm going to talk to him about. And he watches our YouTube videos, so I know you're seeing this right now. But I'm going to talk to you about this. We're probably going to need to swap this. You're starting to get some surface rust here, but it's starting to dig into the chain a little bit. It's starting to go a little deeper. So your chain's starting to get rusty. So we need to talk about that. We are testing some powder coating on this, and we're redoing his rear sets. He did have these blue rear sets, and we're powder coating them black and silver to kind of go with the bike's theme here. we're gonna see how it all came out. The black looks killer so far, but I'm gonna show you guys once they're all kind of together. I want to show it to you, but it's looking pretty good so far. And then we got our Gen 3 Hayabusa over here. This one, we are actually doing a video. We're in the middle of doing a video on this one. We did the full exhaust, BT Moto Stacks, and the air filter on this one, the Sprint P08 air filter. We are gonna throw it on the dyno and tune it as a full bolt-on type of bike. Show you guys typically what they make, and then we're gonna do the super stock cams, and then kind of show you what they make, give you an idea of what kind of horsepower they make with the cams also. So we're gonna break it down for you guys. We're gonna make that video awesome. Be sure to check it out when it does release. This is gonna be a really, really cool video, and very informative, very informative. Nobody does this type of stuff, guys. Nobody is doing this on YouTube right now. Nobody, I promise you, nobody. All right, guys, so Brandon right now is at the sand, and so he's over there on the sandblaster, and he's cleaning up some charge piping and a turbo plenum here. So this is a chrome piece, obviously. We're gonna black this all out. When we talked to the owner, he said he wanted some cool stuff done. This is on the 05 Gixxer 1000. This is on that turbo bike. So right now, let me make sure I get a good clean shot of this. So it's gonna be this chrome looking polish. I shouldn't say chrome, it's polished. So we're gonna sandblast all this, and we're gonna powder coat this black. The owner he wants everything blacked out basically, so we figured why not. This would be pretty cool to do. The charge pipe just got done, and we're gonna do the plenum next, and we're also gonna do the compressor housing on the turbo. So Lewis is taping off the compressor housing now, so we don't get any we don't want any powder coat obviously getting inside of it. So we're gonna make sure that it's taped off and everything before we do it, but we figured it'd be pretty trick. It was actually Daryl's idea, so thank you, Daryl. It was his idea. Gotta give it to him. It's in the blaster now! So we're trying different taping methods, all right, guys? Like, we don't know if this is the best taping method. And if you guys are out there and you guys powder coat, why don't you throw us a line real quick? And if you guys could give us any kind of advice, that'd be great. But anyway, what we're doing is we're just trying different taping methods. So we have this fiberglass tape, and that tape fell off, as Brandon was saying, it fell off in the sandblasting cabinet here. So we're gonna try the painter's tape. We did like a little sample run with the painter's tape.
The turbo came out perfect with it. That's after sandblasting.
Oh, this is after sandblasting with this? Well, the oven part of it, I don't know if this will hold, but I remember somebody using this and they said it worked. So if it works, we'll let you guys know. If it don't, we'll let you guys know. So it was all the chrome color and everything, and now obviously it's all sandblasted. So we'll see what happens. I'm excited. I'm excited to see the color. I think it's gonna look good. All right, guys, so we got the compressor housing all wrapped up. We have it like this wrinkled black. Brandon did a great job on it. It looks fire. Tell us down below what you guys think about this color. This versus that cast aluminum. I'm really curious to see what you guys think. But we think it looks killer. Daryl also went through and got all the gunk and stuff that got built up on that yeah, thank you, inlet housing. Golly, I keep losing my words today. But he got everything cleaned up on the flange surface. And then we also put in these push lock lines, these quick disconnect fittings basically. So instead of having like the barb and then zip tying it with a regular vacuum line, we're gonna run all push lock line through here. So it'll just be, again, just a much cleaner look. That's what the customer was going for. So we're just gonna clean this thing up and make it look awesome for them. We also got the turbo all rebuilt by Kirk over at Boost Lab. So the next part on all this is we're gonna throw the compressor housing on the turbo, then we're gonna get the turbo up on the manifold, and then run the feed line. We're gonna redo the feed line for them. So we're gonna make this thing look killer. Daryl's been over here plugging away. The boys have been busy, and we have the compressor housing on now, along with all the charge piping and then the plenum. So we think, I mean, I don't know, our general consensus here is saying that this is way better than what it did look like. With that cast kind of look to it. So we think it looks killer now with this black setup versus that, again, that cast or that old polish setup. Now, again, this is mocked up. This is not final install. I know we're gonna have some people that are like, oh, but look at this, look at that. This is just a mock-up. We know these lines, we're gonna replace these lines with the push lock lines with the, if they're a better quality.
Look at the gap on the manifold, it's not even tightened.
They didn't even tighten that. Boost leaks. So, yeah, I know.
You want to build it loose.
Yeah, you want to build it loose, guys. That way it'll last. You need this to last, all right? We ran these push lock fittings instead of those brass fittings that was on the compressor housing here. So these lines are going to get replaced, these general little vacuum lines. Now look, guys, obviously these work. I'm not saying it doesn't work. These definitely work. It's not like a flawed system. He wants this to look aesthetically much more pleasing. And I mean, again, it's just an extra little added touch that we're going to do on this and run these lines. So we're going to run a stainless tee also. This is like, again, this is just some little plastic tee they had. Rerun all these lines, completely rerun these lines. So we have a few more things that we need to do to this bike to get it ready to go for the owner, and then we'll be able to send him on his way with a decent bike here soon. All right, guys, so we decided to say screw it and drill our own -8 hole for this flange. So we did. And next thing, what we got to do is we're gonna thread it for the 3/8 NPT. That's actually what we drilled for, is really the 3/8 NPT, so that we can run our -8 drain, because honestly, I did a little bit of digging and I could not find the fitting, at least quickly, that it was gonna get here in a decent amount of time. So instead of wasting more time, we decided to say screw it and make our own. So that's what we did. So next we're gonna get this thing tapped out for the 3/8 NPT, and then we're gonna throw the -8 fitting on there so we can start running our return line, our oil return line, back to the oil scavenge pump here. All right. The boys have been working on the R1M here, and we're getting the tank cover all prepped to go on the tank. Lewis and Daryl have been working on the tail, and they got the tail section all in here, and it looks fire. It looks really, really good. And for those of you who are wondering, this particular kit is from RPM Carbon, and it's so far pretty good. Now, fitment is always an issue, regardless of the carbon fiber you're working with. Fitment is always going to be an issue. I don't care who tells you what, but fitment is usually always a problem. So, like even right here, these bolt holes are a little offset. They're not lined up right. You can tell they're slightly offset. This is slightly offset. These are offset a hair, but this is workable. This is very workable, considering how some of the other manufacturers, some of their carbon, it ain't even close. Like, we have to like completely modify the carbon. In this particular case, we did have to modify it a little bit just to get the tail section on, because we couldn't get it on. So we did modify it just and able to get it to get all clicked up into here. But more than likely, maybe not on this tail section, but on some of the other sections, more than likely we're gonna have to drill some holes or drill them out bigger or make some more modifications in order to get everything to fit and to make it fit nice and snug the way it should, without any kind of messed up looking lines or anything. We are in the middle of installing the new vinyls, the new stickers. Basically, they're all OEM stickers, but we're in the middle of installing all of them, and we're gonna make this thing basically look like it came from the factory, all carbon now. So, and it looks really, really stout. The lines look good. Everything looks pretty solid. They even came with these with the frame carbon covers, the tail, the tank cover, this piece, the front piece. We got the new Yamaha badges, emblems on it. So everything is looking like OEM, like it all came from the factory like that. So very happy with the results. So the placement looks pretty good. I don't know, you guys tell us. I think the placement looks good. Still waiting on him for the chain and sprocket kit. We're gonna clean this up again before he leaves, no matter what, even if he tells us no on the kit. We're gonna wipe it down one last time and re-lube it for him. But all in all, guys, we're pretty excited. The carbon is looking pretty damn solid on this bike. It looks really good. Very happy with it. Oh, the last piece, we got this piece that we gotta do. That's the last one, that front sprocket cover. So here is the R1M in all its glory. This thing looks killer. Oh, cool update. The owner did give us the green light to swap out that chain and sprocket kit. So it's gonna pop that much more. And once we take that all off, We're gonna clean all this up. We're gonna detail the bike. There was like a couple little things that Lewis noticed. He did take it on a test drive. There was just a couple of things. I want to say he said like right here. Yep. So there's no clips for this carbon work, so it doesn't stay clipped in. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw some tape up underneath there and get that kind of situated. Yeah, you can see it on this one a little bit too. See how it's kind of pushed out? So we're gonna try to get that pushed up in there and get this thing right before he leaves. But the stickers look great. Like I said, we need to leave it in the sun a little bit. I'll probably heat gun this a little bit more and try to push this out a little bit more. But all in all, the bike looks phenomenal. Super, super happy with the progress. And this thing is gonna look killer before it leaves.